D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So last night, they dropped the latest episode, first episode of season 2 of Superman and Lois. I just have to say that I really enjoy this show very much. I think that, even though this episode, it wasn't bad, but it was just kind of like a okay kind of episode, but it was still, there was some very good action sequences that I personally enjoyed. The first one, which we'll get to, but with the boat was the best one. But I mean, the other ones were pretty good. I think this show is just so, last season and now from this episode, they're just doing it right, the way a show should be done, lean on story, and develop your characters that way. And then, you don't have to worry about, certain things that I do not like in my shows now, identity politics. But this episode was, it, like I said, it wasn't a bad episode. It just wasn't like one of those episodes where just like, oh my gosh, kind of thing. Like the cliffhanger at the end, which I will talk about the end of this video. I read an interview with the creators of the show, or the showrunners. I can't, yeah. So, we will talk about it because I thought it was very interesting. So, so I did like this episode, and I just love everybody on this show. They're all doing a good job acting wise, and all right. Before I get started on my breakdown, though, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we always get pushed to the back of the line. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. So now with all of that out of the way, why don't we go ahead and get down to brass tacks with this breakdown. So it starts off exactly where last season ended off, where Natalie came out of the ship and everything, which I'm curious as to what they did with that. And Henry Irons is all like trying to, he's hugging her and everything, and then she's like, Mom. And then he has to stop her because she goes to run to Lois, and then he's like, that's not your mother. And she's all like, what, and everything. And he's like, I'll explain. And Lois just stands there. And then Clark's like, Lois, you have to say something. She doesn't say anything. And she just turns around, and she walks away. Okay. And then it gets to 3 months later, which I was like, okay, cool. And everything, because it plays into that whole thing. 3 months, though, for what goes on in a little bit is a long time. I'll tell you right now. I also just want to say I love the Kent farmhouse. I love the wraparound. Well, it's not a complete wraparound porch, but I love the porch, how huge it is. It's just great. Okay. So we go in, and Lois has been very moody, and it's not that time of the month. It's just she's going through some stuff and everything, which, is understandable, and we'll talk about it when we get to the scene. Sorry, I just need a little coffee. It's very early for me. But I was up earlier than this. I got kids. Anyways, speaking of kids, Clark is trying to get his boys ready to get up and running, and Jonathan's all like, he's like, hey, where's your brother? And he's like, he's still getting ready and everything because Sarah's coming home. And Lois she's upset. Like, she's kind of like in a mood right now because she is trying to find another reporter to work at the Gazette. And Clark is looking for a very specific type of wine that Lucy likes because they're going to go to her house later for something that we'll find out in just a second. And right here, Clark is all like, ooh. And then Jonathan's like, what? And he's like, oh, don't worry, you'll smell it. And as soon as he did that, I was like, cologne and everything. Just one spritz. That's all you need and everything. If you want to do 2 spritz, that's fine. Any more than 2 is too much. I can tell you that right now. And it depends on the cologne. 1 spritz sometimes is too much. Some of that stuff can be very strong. Anyway, so Jonathan comes down. He's got this wooden box full of stuff. And they're like, what's in the box? And he's like, it's for Sarah. It's a surprise. And I just want to say, Jordan, I really liked his growth last season. He went from a total like bitch to, I thought a good character, because he was all whiny and all like, oh, I have powers, I'm a weirdo. And I'm all like, You have powers. Stop it. Like, like who do I gotta jerk off to get powers? You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, but I do like his character, and I kind of now feel like in this episode, maybe they took they regressed a little bit with his character because something happens at the end and or towards the end, and I didn't like that. I felt like they're kind of doing him dirty a little bit, but we'll see how it pans out. I don't know how that's gonna pan out. Anyways, so Lois, they're going to Lucy's later and everything. So they all leave or whatnot. And then there's the movie theater. I'm playing the little things. And then the unearthing. I wonder if that has to do with and so here you got some kids with Superman capes, and then you got a guy selling Superman memorabilia. And what is his name? The actor's name is Alex, and I always forget this character's name because this character kind of just sits on the back of my mind. Oh, it doesn't matter. Anyways, Dan. Anyways, so he's kind of annoyed that this guy is not from Smallville, but he's come to Smallville to capitalize on Superman, which Lucy's all like, yeah, but it's bringing in money to the economy, to our town's economy, and he's like, yeah, well, a lot of people don't like it. She's like, yeah, but a lot of people do like it. So then Sarah gets off the bus and she's home from camp, and she's like, oh, did you like camp? And she's like, it was all right and everything. He's like, yeah, but was it, it probably was a little bit different being a counselor instead of a camper this time. She's like, yeah, it was different. So she's walking back to get in the truck, and she gets this little smirk on her face. And my immediate reaction was, she met another boy. And I was like, oh, poor Jordan. And that's one thing they did to him. And then they did something else to him. But I was like, man, he was so happy with Sarah. And I liked their little, like, like, will they, won't they last season. It was very soap opera, but I liked it. I thought it was cute and everything. I was like, oh, young love. And I was like, oh, I can't wait till they get older. And because they're only 15, which I was like, man, you guys are 15. I mean, you look a little bit older than 15. You guys look like you're maybe like 17. Anyways, they probably really are. So back at the Smallville Gazette, this woman, can't remember her name is, she's interviewing this guy. And he's like the woad or the goat. I can't remember what he's talking about, but he talks about how he had more followers on his blog than viewerships of his last paper. And that he's got like, 40,000 Twitter followers, which, I mean, brag much. Anyways, I was all like, I wonder what his blog talked about. Probably nothing special. But Lois doesn't have it. She's like, thank you for coming. We'll let you know and everything. And she's like, we are not worried about Twitter followers and all that stuff. And she's like, yes, we are. She's like, we need help at the Gazette. We are over, extending ourselves kind of thing. And I'm paraphrasing all of this because nothing happened crazy that were important that I needed to write it down. And she's like, Lois, you need to, we need to find somebody. And she's like, okay, and everything. So back at Lucy's house, Lucy gets a box, and it's full of T-shirts and posters and stuff of Daniel something. And he is running for, I believe, mayor. And Dan doesn't like that. He doesn't like Lucy being around this guy. I'm not quite sure why. Like maybe he feels like she's spending too much time with her or whatnot, but he doesn't like it. So then Jordan shows up and he hears them talking because he's got super hearing and everything, which is cool. And he hears Sarah go, oh, he didn't text me. And they're all like, yeah, and everything. She's like, oh, okay, and everything. So he knocks and he's like, yeah, I would have texted, but I was just so excited to see you. And she's all like, this is just a really crappy time right now because my mom has got a bunch of people coming over for this mayor candidate and everything. Can you come back some other time? And he's like, can you meet me back at, that place we got arrested last season, the creek or the river or whatever, the bridge. And she's like, sure, kind of thing. So then Jonathan, he got his arm broken, right? Twice. And so he's watching everybody else play football, and he wants to get in there and put me in coach kind of thing. And the coach does have him do it, but he's mad because he's like, you won't have me run, these kind of passes and everything. I don't know football and everything. I'll watch it though. I don't mind watching sports, but if you ask me to get into the lingo, I'm all like, and everything. So then his girlfriend here, which at first I was like, oh, she changed her hair and everything. And she's like, no, they changed the actress. So I don't know if this is the same character because I don't remember the character's name from last season, but they definitely changed the actress. And she's like, maybe you could talk to the coach and just tell him what you want, and maybe he'll do it. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I knew I started dating you for a reason. I'll have to look it up later and everything. One of you will tell me in the comments if it's the same character or whatnot and why the actress changed. I don't know. Maybe you will. Anyways. So then Clark hears something. He hears this North Korean. They were very, they did put a little bit of politics into this one. And but this submarine, sorry, I said ship earlier. It's a submarine, is going down. He's like, hey, I'm gonna walk down to the other farm and everything. I'll be back and everything. And the girlfriend's like, how far away is this other farm and everything? They're being naughty. So he flies up, and this part right here was very cool because he was like flying, and then all of a sudden he just stopped. Oh, and I almost used this for my thumbnail, but I'm using a different one. But it was very cool. I liked it a lot. And he looks very good right there. He looks pumped, he looks jacked and everything. So he's doing his laser or his X-ray vision, trying to checking out the submarine. And then all of a sudden he gets this. He's like, and everything. And I just have to say, this noise that they had going on, it was like a wow, wow, wow. I can't do it. That's not the noise. But if I did that every 5 seconds, wow, 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 you probably get annoyed. But it was annoying. Like I was getting annoyed by the end of this episode. Every time he did this and this little noise came up, I was all like, stop doing that. I'm getting mad now. Like it's very annoying. And he falls into the water, and this submarine is just going down and everything. And he finally he gets his senses back, and the submarine's about to go, but then he lifts it up out of the water and he puts it on land. And then they see it's, and there's a Superman saved us and everything, and they're cheering and everything. Then we go to Metropolis. We go to Metropolis High School, and Natalie is, he's like, are you sure you want to go to the same high school that you went to back on our Earth? And she's like, yeah, Dad, and everything. And he's like, what are you gonna do if you run into random girls named? Sorry, I got up very early today. And she's like, I'm just gonna ignore them because they don't know me, because this is not my Earth and everything. And then she's all like, well, what does it even matter? Yada 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 and everything. And he's like, I'll meet you here after school, kind of thing. She goes into school. Then Lois comes home, and she hears a little naughty business going on upstairs. She goes up there, and Jonathan is getting it on and everything. He is got his shirt off, and mom's all like, where is your shirt? And he's like, I think it's over there somewhere. And he's like, young lady, you need to leave now. The young man, you need to get dressed and you need to get downstairs because we are going to have a chat. He's like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I never call my mom ma'am, but I did. I would not have pulled this crap in her house. I'll tell you that. I would not have got a talking to. I would have got a little bit more. So then we go back to the DOD, and this is the new guy, Mr. Anderson or Colonel Anderson. And Superman comes in. He's like, I wanted to talk to you. He's like, you saved North Korean submarine. And he's like, I was saving lives. And he's like, yeah, but did you have to bring them back, the submarine, especially since it was a nuclear submarine, which I thought was a very good point. Maybe you could have dropped that crap off in South Korea maybe next time. And then he talks about how he really wants Clark, long story short, really wants Clark to commit to the United States, and Clark won't do it. And as he says later on, I'll say right now, he gave up that a long time ago. He's a citizen of the world, which I know it's really like fashionable right now to crap on America, even though we are the best country on the planet. But yeah, fuck you, Superman. Anyways. And you're better tomorrow, fucking asshole. Anyways, so then Lois is all like, Clark, she uses little diggy thing, and she's like, Clark, I need you home right now. And so he's like, what could be? And he's like, I have to go. And he's like, what could be more important? And then he leaves, and he gets home, and he's like, what's going on? Hold on, I just need a little bit more coffee. to liven myself up. And she's all like, your son, I came home and found your son in bed, half naked with a girl. And he's like, well, first he was all like, where's Charlotte? I think that was her name, Charlotte. And she's like, you knew about this? And he's all like, and then she's like, I came home and they were half naked and everything. And he's all like, what? And he's like, Jonathan, go upstairs. And he's like, happy to. And she's all like, so then they get into a little spat. And Lois, and he's all like, Lois, he's like, we have to let them, and she's like, oh, you're blaming me for this kind of thing. And she's being irrational. And it's because something else is going on. And she's upset, which I get. But at the same time, I just go, Lois, calm down. You are upset. And this is not, and later on, she says that she blames Clark, but and she's just mad and everything. And he's doing his best to try to keep the peace / try to help, but she doesn't want to tell him what's going on. So he can't help, if you don't know what the problem is, you can't help. Anyways. So then we go over to Jordan and he's doing so he lights the stuff and she's all like, can I undo this? Oh, I thought I got the scarf. Anyway, can I undo this scarf? Cause it's really itchy. Takes off the thing and he has lit candles that he put on little boats, little pieces of wood to float in this thing. And he's like, this is super cute. And the fact that Sarah like left and flaked out on him was so rude. Like, how cute is this? Like, this is so something I would have done. I was cute like this. Anyways, when I was younger, not so much anymore. That's what happens when you get married. You gotta keep the romance alive. So they kiss and everything, and he's all like, she gives the excuse of it. She's like, I'm really crampy and everything. So she uses the period excuse, which is a good excuse, ladies. If I had the period, I would use that too. Anyways, but he's all like, and she's like, so it's just not a really good time right now. She's like, but this is super cute and everything. And I'm all like, oh, she met another dude. She was getting D'd by another dude. I was like, oh, poor Jordan. I was like, he found love season 1, loses love season 2. So then back at Lucy's house, she is hosting a little get together with all these people at her house. And this is Daniel Hart. I see it in the background right there. And he's running for mayor in 2022 because, of course, we had to have an election in here, because 2022 is an election year, you guys. I wonder what this show is gonna do with all of that. I wonder if some political talking points are gonna come up in the show, which is like, ooh, great, and everything. So anyways, I don't remember this character's name from season 1, but she was the one that got taken over by a Kryptonian, Psyche. She's like, what are you going to do with the whatever funds? And he's like, well, we're going to just like reallocate them to Citizens of Smallville or some crap like that. I can't remember exactly what he said. She's like, that's exactly what we want to hear. And then the teacher, the coach is all like, the teachers, we haven't gotten a raise in 5 years. What are you going to do about that? And he's like, well, I'm definitely going to look into it. And then Lucy comes up and she's all like, the mayor, Daniel Hart, is definitely pro teacher. So we are going to make sure that we get that that raise for the teachers done, kind of thing. And he's like, that's what we like to hear and everything. And I'm all like, yeah, but so, I mean, like, come on, like even Andrew Yang said you lie to people to tell them what they want to hear. Come on. And then this woman, rude, by the way, she's got a cup and it's got that cocktail sauce in it or whatever for that you dip your shrimp into, shrimp cocktail sauce. And I don't remember. I think she just said like I need another. I'm all out. I need another, some crap like that. And I just want to be like, rude. Alex, the actor Alex, he was a much better guy than I was, because I am a great party host, if I do say so myself, little humble brag. But if somebody came to me in my own party and was all like, I need more of this, I'd be like, yeah, the kitchen's over there where the food is. Go get your own. I'm not your maid or your mother. Serve yourself, fuckface. And so this woman's all like, gives him the cup, which she's got it on her hands too. But I'm all like, what's going on with you? You're like gross and everything. But she's like, I need more shrimp cocktail. And I just went, she didn't say that, but she said something about she couldn't get something to work. And I'm just all like, what could you not get to work? Like, it's in a bottle, and then you just put the shrimp on top or whatnot. Anyways, so he's making that crap in the kitchen, and Clark comes in. He bought the bottle of wine, and he's all like, yeah, I'm just and he's all like, Lois isn't coming. She's got something else to do, and he's like, you're a bad liar. And he's all like, we had a little fight. And he's like, and then Dan gives him some advice, some not good advice. He's all like, I say just let sleeping dogs lie, because women are a mystery, and sometimes mysteries turn into danger. And I'm all like, what? Like, you're gonna be divorced after this season, and Jordan's losing love, and so is Dan. Oh gosh, what is his name? I need to find out right now. I'm gonna keep calling him Dan. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done this, but I'm going to look it up right now. Give me 2 seconds on this. I feel awful for doing this. I normally am way more prepared, but okay. Kyle, his name is Kyle. I think Kyle. All right, so moving on. So then he's all like, he does that, and he's like, I gotta go deliver these crappy shrimp cocktails. And I was like, oh, you're such a better dude than I am, Kyle, because I literally wouldn't have done it. I would have been like, no, I'm not gonna. I made the food before you got here, and it is ready to be served, and you, unless it's a dinner party, I'm not serving you, and even then I'm not serving you. Somebody else will serve you. Anyways, so then back at the high school, that AI is they, I'm pretty sure they don't, but Steele is sitting here, and he's waiting for Natalie, and so she comes up, and she is 3 hours late, which I go, oh, let my kids show up to something 3 hours late, and let me be sitting there waiting for them. Ooh, I would be so mad. I'd be like, you're grounded. Like, that's just the end of this story. So John's all like, where have you been? And she's all like, I left after first period. And he's like, what? And she's like, I saw one of my friends. She names her friend. She's like, she just looked past me. Like, she didn't even know me, but she doesn't, because I'm not supposed to be here. And she's like, I'd rather be dead. I'd rather be dead like I'm supposed to be than be on this earth. And I'm all like, okay, listen, I get it. You're supposed to be this way. And don't get me wrong, this actress is everybody's doing a good job acting wise. And this actress does a good job. I do like her, and I want to see her character go more, but I don't like whiny people, and I don't like whiny characters. And but she has a good reason. So I kind of give her a pass. Same thing with Lois. I give her a pass, and soon to be Jordan. Have to give him a pass, because Sarah's gonna break his heart. I'm telling you. So then back at the house, Lois is sitting there, and she's still upset, obviously. And Jordan comes in, and she's all like, where's all the stuff? And he's like, she's like, how did it go? And he's like, good. She's like, that's it, just good. And he's all like, she's like, where did you go? And he's like, that bridge. She's like, where you were arrested? And he's all like, I asked the owners and everything, but it doesn't even matter. And then he's all like, can I just go upstairs now? And he starts off with like, is that dinner? And she's like, yeah, unless you're going to cook something yourself. And I was like, Lois, you're being very bitchy to your children. And you need to calm it down. Okay. You're blaming them for something that's your fault. So stop it. So then he's talking to his brother, and long story short, he's just like, something's up with Sarah. And he's all like, he's like, I don't want to burst your bubble, buddy, but she's met somebody else. I think she might have met somebody else. And he's all bummed. And then he's like, we're going to talk from dad and mom about the sex talk, birds and the bees talk. He's like, oh, what'd you do? And everything. So then Lucy is talking to Clark, and they're both pretty much just saying like, something is wrong with their spouse. They don't know what it is, but they're trying to figure it out. And she's all like, and finally he's all like, you try to help, but you don't want to cause a fight, and you did it. And she's like, are we talking about Kyle still here? And he's all like, Yeah, and everything. And he's just like, he's like, no, we're not. We're talking about Lois and everything. And Kyle's fixing and then there's like a small, like little earthquake or whatever. And that plays into it. And I really want to talk about this because I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it, but I don't hate it at the same time. So Kyle is fixing this car and Sarah comes in and she's all like, I don't know what to do about Jordan. And he tells him, he's like, Jordan's, you're the alpha in this relationship. Jordan's a beta male overall. And he's like, you need to be the one to, set the rules kind of thing. And she's all like, that's not bad advice. And it wasn't bad advice because it's very obvious in this relationship that she wears the pants because Jordan is like, I'm sorry, but I don't understand. Like, Jordan has superpowers. Like, I mean, granted, he didn't grow up with superpowers, but like, how is that not? Because he says he doesn't have confidence. So true. I don't understand how he hasn't gained confidence and he's regressed, like I said, because last season he gained confidence with his football playing, getting powers, all that stuff. And now he's just all like, oh, Sarah, I love you so much. I don't want to let you go kind of thing. And I'm all like, come on. I mean, Sarah, don't get me wrong. She's super cute, but like there's more fish in the sea. Okay. As your brother can attest to. And he's gonna have her help him fix this car. I don't know anything about cars either, but I can change my own oil and tire and headlights. Anyways, Clark comes home and Lois is all like, she's like, I've been upset and I've been blaming you. Then she talks about how she's really upset with herself that she didn't do anything that first moment with Natalie. Because Natalie came out of the ship and she just wanted to get like some recognition, kind of. I'm not using the right word. But she says, I regret not saying anything because when my mother left, she's like, she said, I felt nothing for her. And he's like, yeah, because she's not, you're not her mother. And she's all like, yeah, but she's like, what I felt, I only imagine what my mother had felt when she left us. And she's like, and I always thought, how can a mother feel that way about their own children? And yet here I am. And I'm all like, and she blames herself for that, but she's got to give herself a little bit because she doesn't know that girl. She doesn't know that girl. And yes, she did lose a baby that they were going to name Natalie, but Steve, you still have to look at it this way. She still is not, that's not her kid, no matter how you put it. You slice it anyway. That's the first time she's seeing that person. So, she blames herself and everything. And so then there's a bigger, because then Clark hears, he hears an earthquake coming. He's like, go get the boys and take shelter and everything. And then an earthquake happens. The people run out of the theater though. I think that's what you're supposed to do. Sorry, I hit my mic. I think that's what you're supposed to do in an earthquake, like leave a building, because if the building topples and you're in it, but yeah, anyways. So then this water tower is falling. And this was cool too. I like this too. This was the other action sequence that I liked, him saving Smallville. So then the tower starts to fall. And he comes in and he stops it. And then he freezes the water so it stays like that and everything. I was like, that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. They're spending the money and Daddy appreciates. So then back at the mines, you got some of these fake pyrotechnics. Like this one right here looks like, and a little bit right there looks like, fireworks and everything. Yeah, like look at those sparklers. Anyways, so then there's explosions, everything. This truck up here, it falls and he catches it and lays it down and everything. And then he goes down to the mine, everything. And there's a big explosion, everything. When the dust settles, there's these two. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw these two, I thought they were Kryptonians. And I was like, oh, what's going on here? Because they have the S symbol, which comes up in just 2 seconds. But I was like, ooh, who are they? And what's going on here? Kryptonians. I was like, are they going to do, the new Krypton storyline? What are they going to do here? And I was like, man, I'm excited to see what happens. But then he starts to do his thing again with that wah, 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 wah thing. I don't, that's not the noise, but I'm just saying, like, the noise was very annoying to me. Anyways. And he hold on, but finally it ends and he gets up and the people they're gone, but they saved a miner. So he flies up. Oh, excuse me. This is what I'm using for my thumbnail. And he tries to hear for him and he hears him. And then back at the house, they're picking up and cleaning up and everything. And she calls John Henry Irons. I'm just gonna call him John or Steele, whatever. Anyways, and she's like, hey, can we meet up? And back at the DOD, there's these two, and he's like, who are they? He's like, they're a part of our school, and they are the people from Smallville that are now metahumans because they were transformed by that that orange kryptonite or kryptonite X. Like that one kid, I don't remember his name from season 1, where he just did the little thingy and everything. And but then he's like, we're, you don't want to help us out, so we need we need heroes. And this is where he gives the line. He's like, I gave up my allegiance to America a long time ago. I'm a citizen of the world, which I just go, okay, fine. And he's like, well, we're going to have our own superheroes. And then he goes, so he's like, when you're ready to join us, you can come back. And he gives him this little machine thing. And he's like, that symbol that you've put on their chest, that's not yours to give, because that's from his planet. He's like, that symbol is the most recognizable symbol on the planet. And now America can have more than one Superman. He's basically saying, like, we'll use it if we want. If you don't like it, do something about it, Superman. Yeah, ruin that image, fucker. And so I am pro-America, not pro-Superman in this story. I'll tell you that. So he's all upset, and I'm all like, get over yourself. Anyways, so then Natalie and John are sitting in the diner. And he's all like, see, I told you this rhubarb pie was delicious. And she's like, not worth the drive. And I was like, I don't know. Strawberry rhubarb pie is pretty delicious. And so Lois walks in and she's like, I cannot believe you. She leaves. And then she goes out and she's sitting on the bench, the Martha Kent bench. She sits down and she's all like, listen, long story short, I'm going to break it down because I didn't write down exactly word for word. I'll try to do it next episode, but I got too many shows to cover today and tomorrow and for the rest of time. Anyways, she's all like, that day that you landed, she's like, I should have said something to you and I regret it. And it's been eating me up inside. And she's like, oh, so this is why you did this? So you could feel better about yourself? Oh, so you could feel better? And she's like, no. She's like, I did this because, I want to get to know you because, and she's like, why would you want to get to know me? She said, because you're worth it. She's like, you're smart, you're pretty, you are a good person. I can't remember you are kind, you are wise, you are important and everything. She gives her that whole spiel. And it was and she's right, because this girl obviously associates Lois with her mother because her mother was Lois on their Earth. And I get that. So I think Lois did a good thing here. And this actress, her name is, hold on, I have it pulled up now because is Taylor Buck. She's doing a good job. Well, so is Elizabeth Tullich. I don't know how to say it. Anyways, both of them are doing a good job acting wise. I've always thought Elizabeth Tulloch was a good actress because even when she was on that Grimm show, I always loved her. But this girl, this is the only thing I've ever seen her in, and she's doing a good job. Everybody's doing a good job acting wise, but in this scene, she's doing a good job. When people cry on TV shows, I only want like the glistening eyeballs and like little tears. Who's a good crier because it's so realistic. Oh gosh, How to Get Away with Murder. I can't remember now. Anyways, she gets snot going and the snot grosses me out. And I'm all like, I don't want that. I don't want ugly cry. So then Bad Lucy and Kyle she's all like, are you getting upset because I'm spending so much time with Daniel Hart? She's like, I'd much rather be here with you and the girls, but this is important. And then they start making out and everything, and they're going to get down to the hibbity dibbity. And then Sarah comes in, she's like, you guys know you have a room with a door that locks and everything. And they're like laughing and everything. I was like, that's so true and everything. When you have kids, trust me, you cannot get nasty anywhere but your bedroom. It sucks, but you're like, whatever. That's the price you pay for happiness. So she heads to her room and she gets a text from Jordan. 2 texts. Okay. I just want to say right now, Jordan's not coming off very well right now. And the writers, they should be ashamed of themselves because they did a lot of good work building up his character's confidence in season 1, and they just brought it right back down, and it's really obnoxious and annoying, and they need to fix that ASAP. But it says this, it says, hey, I hope you're feeling better. The pond and candles, it wasn't all too much, was it? I kind of sprung that on you. I just wanted to show you how much I missed you. I'm so glad you're back. Like, all right, whatever, bitch boy. Like, what are you gonna do next? Lick the bottom of her boots? And then he says, we could grab shakes at VM's maybe tomorrow if you're up for it. Like, okay, you're weird. And look at her face. She's all like, ugh, I have to deal with this. I need a real man. I need an alpha, not a beta, Jordan. I'm all like, see, and that's what gets me, because he like went from like a beta in season 1 to like a gamma, which I was like, yeah, go Jordan. Yeah, buddy. I hope they don't do this to him, like regress him back so much to where he has to be built up again. Like, what is the gosh? It's I know I'm shitting all over the show. Well, not all over, a little bit, just on the Jordan stuff and the Superman not being American stuff. Anyway, so he comes in and he's gonna give him the talk, and he's all like, listen, he's like, what happened today can't happen again. He's like, you guys are 15 years old, you are not old enough to have sex, basically. And they're like, in there, he's like, well, what's a good age? And they're like, you know what? He's like, you should wait until you're older. And he's like, and they're like, how old were you when you lost your virginity, kind of thing. And Jonathan's all like, mom, and they like laugh and everything. But I'm pretty sure it's true. I'm like 99% positive that Superman's first was a hormone dance was or hormone sandwich was with Lois, which listen, I was a late bloomer too, so I can't, but I tell you right now, it wasn't that late. Anyways. And he's like, if you have any questions, just come to me and everything. And that's when, and so then he's like, so mom's not gonna have a talk with us. He's like, oh no, mom's gonna have a talk with you guys. You guys are screwed and everything, and not in the way you were trying to get to. So Lois shows up with John and Natalie, and she's all like, Natalie and John are gonna stay in Smallville for a little while, but I told them while they're here, they could stay with us until they find a place to live. Boys, can you go show Natalie around? They're like, yeah, sure. And then John's like, thanks for doing this. Is like, anything to help a friend. And I really hope they bring Steel back, because I really liked him in season 1 with his suit. I hope they change the helmet. I'm not a huge fan of the way the helmet looks. I wish it looked more like the comic books. And I kind of want him to get the cape because I like the cape. But if they don't do any of that, I'm totally fine with it, because I loved him in season 1. He was great in season 1. And I love superheroes. Yay. Anyways. So then he hears like a pounding. And he's like, what is that and everything? And he goes back into the house. And at first I thought it was a part of the music, but then I was like, is it part of the music? And then they go back to the mines, or the quarry, and they go into the dirt. And then that was a weird thing. Oh, so they go all the way down in here, and then a hand just busts through, and then it comes out and it clamps down, and then it just like, and then that's it. So, and that's where this episode ends, on a little cliffhanger and everything. So I read an interview I think it was Den of Geek or Geek of Geek or Den of Geek. I think it was Den of Geek. Long story short, this is Doomsday. But they said they were going to do it a different way, kind of like they did with season 1 with Morgan Edge, but what was the name of the character? How that Kryptonian was his half brother. That's how they were going to kind of do it, like that. And they said season 1 you'll get like a little glimpse, season 2 you'll get a little bit more, and then they were like, but see, by episode 3 you're going to get the full reveal, which was like, okay, good, because the one thing that annoys me is when and I think like for instance, the Flash with Savitar in season 4, they took way too long to reveal who Savitar was. They took way too long. So I like it when you just reveal your bad guy right away and then get down to the business of a fighty, punchy punch, and everything. So I don't know how I feel about doing Doomsday. They did say there's other villains in here and they're not all connected at first, but then like as the season goes on, you'll see how they're connected. But I don't know how they're going to do Doomsday. If they do it like Smallville did, I don't like the way they did Doomsday in Smallville. I felt that the way they did it with like where it had like a human aspect to it was interesting, but not good enough in my opinion. Like the human part of Doomsday was better than the monster part, and I'm all like, why are we humanizing Doomsday? Why in like a human form? Just have him be the big hulking thing. So we'll see how they do it. I'm not opposed to this because I do think this show, they did Morgan Edge different than the comic books. So I'm interested to see what they do right now with this character of Doomsday. But we'll just have to see going forward. So that is my breakdown and review, guys. Sorry, it took a little bit longer than I wanted to do, but I have thoughts. Tell me, what did you guys think about this episode? Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? Who's your favorite character on the show? How do you feel about them bringing in Doomsday? Are you cool with this? Are you not cool with this? Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week on my Superman and Lois breakdown review. You guys have a good week. Bye.